Hey folks, B59 here. Welcome back to Piasa Transport on Transport Fever 2. And last time we extended our Mississippi River passenger service down from Memphis to Vicksburg. We also created a line that runs up the Arkansas River, starting in Vicksburg, and then Little Rock, and then Fort Smith, and then Tulsa, and then back again. And these are all just passenger services. That's all we set up last episode. We did have a funny little twist here at the end of the Arkansas River where the confluence is with the Mississippi. We put a little exchange dock there, and so people on the Arkansas run can transfer there to go to Memphis. So if you're coming down from Tulsa and you want to go to Memphis, you don't have to go all the way into Vicksburg. You can get off here, and then the Vicksburg-Memphis line stops in both directions to pick passengers up or to drop them off. So if you're in Memphis and you want to go to Little Rock, you can take it to here and then catch the next Vicksburg boat up to Little Rock. So I originally thought that today I would alternate to a cargo service because there's a lot of cargo opportunities down here in the lower Mississippi. But instead, I decided to go ahead and complete our lower Mississippi passenger service. So we're going to create a new run from Vicksburg to Baton Rouge to New Orleans. And then I think we'll also create just a short run from Baton Rouge up to Shreveport. And that way we will have connected all of the connectable cities on this stretch of the lower Mississippi and its tributaries. So let's get to it, and we'll start by putting in a passenger service here in Baton Rouge. And let me bring up a little bit more of the interface. And only turn that off. Okay, so where do we put it? I think down here somewhere. Maybe in here. I mean, if we put it here, we could actually run a road that comes down like this and would provide access, pretty easy access to the center of town. So I think that's what we will do. There's a bit of a climb to get up, but I think we can manage it. So let's drop a passenger harbor in first. If I can fine-tune this a little bit. And I think we'll start with a small dock, and we'll see if it gets overrun. This is not a very big city, having now offended all of the citizens of Baton Rouge. And I'll put two out here like this. Hopefully get our landing in. Yes, indeed. And then let's get some road in. We'll be destroying buildings. And more. A little nub there. Up there, and see if we can connect these up. Get some curvies going. That'll do. And that'll do. And now let's get some stops in. I know we're going to want a couple right here. Are we going to... What else? How do we want to do that this time? We could put a stop. I think what we'll do is we'll put couple stops here. A couple here. And a couple here. And, you know, this is a small enough town that, I mean, this is overkill on the stops, but what the heck. And we'll put a line in, and we're going to start with one line. And if we decide we need more, if we see that this is getting smooshed up, then we'll add another. And we'll just go this way for now. Oops. And we'll name this bus Baton Rouge Ferry. And we'll get some buses, well, not really buses, stagecoaches on it. We'll get this in, let's see. Get in over here. It's a cheap one. Okay. And we're going to get 3 vehicles on for now. Put stagecoaches in. There we go. Baton Rouge is ready for business. Now, New Orleans is also a very interesting one. I think got some choices. One choice or one opportunity is right here. I'm very tempted by that. I think to make this really work at its best, I want to get the dock as far out as I can. So let's switch this around. And that is as far out as it will go. Still leaves us some room for a road to connect through here. Actually, it'd be really nice if we could connect it to here and here. But let's first get our dock configured. And the question here is, do we want this to be a larger passenger dock? And I'm going to say yes. And so this is probably going to be going to some other places as well. So we might as well. You know, I'm going to spend the extra money just to get this centered the way I want it. Yeah, that's more centered on that station. I doubt we're going to be able to get any of these in. Yeah. Leave a little bit of space there. Let's get rid of this. And actually, we'll get rid of this one too. So that way we'll have... That looks nice. That looks nice. And we have our landing in? Not yet. Let's get the landing in. You know, I like that a lot. I like it a lot. Okay, now let's get our road in. And that'll do. And let's see what we can do here. That is ideal. And this one, it connected on its own. It's not exactly what I would have wanted. Let's pause a minute. I'd like to see if I can make it come right out from here so we don't have a short interchange. I have to extend this a little bit to make it work. Let's take a look at that intersection. Is that going to work? That will work. I like this a lot. I like this a lot. I think the other thing we're going to do, we're going to tram up New Orleans because it is a big city and it deserves a tram network. So, a catenary. Do we need a catenary? We don't at the moment. I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to run it right down the main street. And actually, you know, I kind of am tempted to have it run all the way through here. And this is nice because our roads are pretty much all the right size where the tram runs. Okay, I like that a lot. So now let's get our stops in here. And it is tempting to put a real station in here. Very tempting. You know, while we're paused, I'm gonna, yeah. Take that out too for the moment. And now, can we get one of these in? Let's see, 20 meters maybe. Let's take this stretcher rope out too. Oh, auto saving. Because if we can do this, you know, it allows more people to use the stop, and so it's better if we can. You take a little bit more of this road out. Take that out. So it's not trying to force a connection there and keeping it there. See, if we do it like this, we're gonna lose a bunch of buildings. But I don't think there's... I think it's worth it. Tram track, yes. Okay, now we can come back in with our road. Yes, on the tram. We want curvy. Nice. Guess we're not going to get away with not destroying that building. Sorry, New Orleans. Hope we didn't do any real damage there. Okay, now let's get some other stops in. And we're going to have a line that goes from here to here on both sides, and then right downtown, and then out here. Where did I get this? I didn't get this at the right spot. Yeah, and I didn't want to do this as a circle. I think what I'd like to do is have something just going around this, just to pick up people here. Is that what I want? Not really. I think I am going to come over here. We're just going to go ahead. We're going to do a big... We're going to do 2 counterclockwise through here. And to heck with it. Or 1 counterclockwise and 1 clockwise. Okay. So let's just get those lines in. This is going to be pretty cool. You know, we may end up getting a lot of citizens using this line for just getting around New Orleans. These two are pretty close together. Now, that'll be okay for now, and this will be our tram, New Orleans, ferry, clockwise. And then we'll get another one in counterclockwise. We may have to adjust these. This isn't very... And in fact, it's very tempting to just put it in. We may move this line. We may move a couple of these lines now that I'm looking at it more closely. But not right now. We want to get this in. And this one will be called Tram, New Orleans, counterclockwise. And then we need a tram depot. And it can go just about anywhere. Well, I say that. I wonder if it would go... I hate to put it right in the middle of town. I think instead what I'm going to do is put it here. And then we'll... Yeah, these things are so big. As we saw eons ago when we were setting it up in St. Louis. Fine-tune it, get it looking halfway decent. Then we'll have to upgrade a little bit of road here. Oops, not upgrade. Ram tool. There we go. And we're going to get 4 each direction. And 4 on that. And then 4 on the other line. Okay, so we have what we need to connect the rest of the lower Mississippi up, and so we'll just run a line from Vicksburg to Baton Rouge to New Orleans. Look at all those people in Vicksburg. I must wonder where they're going. We'll take a peek at that in a sec. And we will name this passenger ferry Vicksburg. Actually, let's start with New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and Vicksburg. And then, let's see, where's our nearest? Now look at this. We've got one right here. I'm going to put at least 2 boats on here, but I think we'll start with one and get them a little better spaced. Take it off pause. Okay, let's take a peek here. So we have 30 people going to Memphis and 21 going up the Arkansas River. And we have our little, let's see, which one is that coming down? Blending into the exchange. Nobody there yet. So you'll be coming down to Memphis. We have 16 on board, but you'll be picking up at least 30, more than 30. Forgot to put you on the line. Let's see. It's a new line. Okay. Get. We'll name this one too. And it's just a lot easier to see these boats if I can hover over it and say, oh, that's the New Orleans one. Okay. The other thing I definitely want to do here in Vicksburg. I'm trying to think whether I want to set up a connecting tram service between Jackson and Vicksburg. And I think that's what I do want to do. Alternatively, I could consider, I'm going to end up, well, I'm not going to spoil that. So yes, let's go ahead and get a tram service in while we're waiting for this line to get going. And let's just, let's see, where should we run this from? Look at all those people. Vicksburg could actually use more of a service in general, but I'd like to get it in close enough that it connects to our existing. I could run it to right here and try just some stops at the beginning. I mean, these are little towns. It's 1885. So let's do that. We'll see how they do. And then in Jackson, we'll go right into the heart of town. And so for our buildings, we'll put some bus stops in. Put one in here. And one here. We'll create a new line. And this is going to build from there to here. And we'll name it Tram. Let's see, Vicksburg, Jackson. Was it Jacksonville? I think Jackson. Yeah. And then we need to just get a depot on this line as well. And we're going to get 4 on this line. And, you know, that'll do a couple of things. One is it'll provide some good connectivity just between Vicksburg and Jackson, where I think we know already that we have quite a few people that are traveling back and forth. Yeah, we have quite a few. And already we're starting to pick them up on the line. And then in Jackson, going to Vicksburg, probably quite a few there as well. And in addition, what I'm hoping then is this will also, oh yeah, a lot of people going into Vicksburg. I'm hoping this will also start to drive some traffic to Memphis. And maybe some other places. Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge? Yeah, look at that. We've already got some people going to Baton Rouge. How about New Orleans? Yep, that just popped up, our first one. Okay, good. So that will increase our service. And part of the reason I wanted to get this part of the network done before turning to cargo is that passenger service is not as reliable as cargo in terms of making money. And I wanted to get as many people using this lower river service as possible so we could at least break even and maybe start to make a little money while we turn our attention next episode to cargo. So the last thing that we need to do here is set up our Shreveport line as well. And let's see where we want to do this. I have a preference for putting them right in the heart of town. And so that's what we're going to do here too. And I'm going to have this stick out as far as I can. So that we, oops. There we go. Let's configure this. Get our anchor in. And then I'm just going to put a small one on here for now as well. Because I don't think we're going to have a lot of traffic out of here. Oops. Outside of navigable waters? Okay. Well, we know what to do about that. Just push it back a bit. Try it now. Will you work? You will. Okay. So let's connect you to the city as well. Oh, nice. I can do this without tearing down those. Oh! um, you know, it's funny. It beat me to the punch. I still think I'm going to do this. Oh. Let's, look at that. Oh. I don't know if this is going to work out so well. I don't really need tram tracks there. No. Okay. Well, good. The city's rebuilding. I don't know what you're doing with that road. I think you'd be better off to leave that out. Let's do that for you, okay? Just do that. Just do that. Okay, and now let's see if we can get some stops in. And, of course, here. And then I think we're going to want a stops over here. And here. It's a decent sized city there. And it's going to grow more because it wants tools and fuel, and we're gonna help it do that. We're gonna help it do that. There's some really good opportunities for cargo stuff here. Okay, so let's see. We need a depot. Shreveport. Just a good old routine road depot. And we'll get 2 vehicles each direction to start. Well, maybe we should create our lines. And this will be our clockwise run. This is bus, Shreveport ferry, clockwise. And then we'll get another one. It is Shreveport ferry counterclockwise. Okay, now let's get our vehicles, and 2 will go on this line, and 2 will go on this line, and that way that'll be all ready. And now let's connect Shreveport to Baton Rouge. It's a pretty long line. I don't know how many people will use it, but we will find out. And we're going to name this one Passenger Ferry. Shreveport to Baton Rouge. And, you know, I think we're going to want a harbor down here too. Probably a little closer to New Orleans. Actually, you know what? Let's get our other boat in up here for that line. And this is our New Orleans line. Okay, so we have 2 boats on that now. And then I guess we could have used this one, but I think what I like about this new one we're going to build, but the spacing was just right, so I thought this would be the time to act. Yeah. Take it off pause. And we'll get a front neck in here for the Shreveport Baton Rouge line. Let's go ahead and get that named as well. And then we should go ahead and get this one named as well. Okay, so we're starting to actually get, a decent number of people out of Vicksburg wanting to go either up the Arkansas or already on the New Orleans run. Okay, excellent. And in Baton Rouge, we have people wanting to go, let's see, which, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and Vicksburg. I wonder which direction you people are going. Let's see, 20 to New Orleans. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I think we're going to have more traffic heading that way. But I guess those people have to get back once they get down there. Oh, and this service. Look at all this. This is pretty good. This is good. We're getting some really nice inner city use here. Let's just see what it says about New Orleans. 28%. That's actually very good compared to our other lines. So Memphis, we have a few people. Jackson, we have a lot of people who are going to Jackson. That's interesting. Some going to Baton Rouge. They've been traveling on this line, and I'm curious about how many of them will start to use this line. When I was looking at this before the episode, I thought maybe I'll just put one passenger ferry here, and then we'll run a tram between the two. And, that's a pretty viable option. But I also thought, ultimately we're going to be connecting New Orleans to Mobile and Panama City and some of these other places by boat. And so it's probably better to go ahead and have just one line a little bit closer into New Orleans, and then this Baton Rouge line, can also be a little bit closer to Shreveport. So that's what we did. All right, folks. I think that is it for today. Let's see. We find a boat to look at this. Let's go on this boat. This is our passenger ferry for the Arkansas River, so it's running basically between Vicksburg all the way up to Tulsa. And it has 57 people on it. And that's a pretty good number. And there they are. It's really a beautiful boat. I wish there was a boat that looked more like a real Mississippi River steamboat. But it's not bad. It's not bad. So folks, thank you for joining me for another episode of our Piasa Transport series. And I look forward to seeing you next time when we're going to do an absolute kick-butt cargo system for the lower Mississippi. And after we get that established, it's probably going to be time to just wander around our network. We haven't been up to the Illinois River or the Missouri River or even the Ohio in a few episodes, and so it would be good to go there and see how those lines are doing. And it looks like we have a pretty good group of people waiting here in, see, this is Little Rock, right? Yeah, we're heading into Little Rock. Let's just see. I want to see this. So I'm going to say goodbye, and we'll just watch this come in and load and unload, and I'll talk to you next time.